Warning, may cause extreme student engagement.
Welcome to The Digital Dish,
your go-to podcast for all things tech and education. All right.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Woohoo, Digital Dish.
Yes, to the Digital Dish podcast, something I can never say without stumbling.
Which is okay. That happens. It's all good. So I am Allie, the weird deal maker and your ed tech coach.
Okay. That weirded me out.
Sorry.
I'm Katie, the newly coined dog sitter and director of ed tech at West Hill. And today we have a very, very special guest.
Yay.
Or four. Yep, but right now we only have one.
Hey, I'm Penny Feeney. I am the librarian at OHMS Middle School in West Hill.
Welcome.
I said that totally wrong.
That's okay. That's
All right.
This is what we do.
Okay.
I mean, I stumble over my words every single episode.
Okay.
It is great. We're good. It's all about real.
So what do you do here, Feeney?
I have been the librarian here at the middle school for 11 years. I can't believe it.
Yay.
That's awesome.
It is.
And what changes we have seen in this library since you've been here?
This library has beautiful space. I was really lucky to come into such a beautiful, renovated library. The collection was not very loved, and there wasn't any signage, and it didn't look like the students were involved in the library. So we've worked a lot over the years to update the collection and make sure it was relevant and what the students wanted. We've rearranged numerous times. We have posters of the students that change yearly because basically the library belongs to them, and I want it to reflect that.
Yes,
So
it does.
it does.
Every time I walk in here, it's my favorite place to be. One of my favorite places to be in the district, if not the most favorite. And it's so bright and cheery, and everyone's happy to see you, and the kids are happy to be here. So, why wouldn't you want to come in here?
Absolutely. And every time I walk in, I love seeing the kids at the games.
Me too.
Yeah, not video games, the actual games.
Yeah, the actual, there's chess and there's checkers. And
Yeah, we have a group of boys, and I absolutely love it. They come in during IA, and they're trading sports cards.
Ooh.
Oh, my
And I'm
goodness.
like, oh my gosh, I love that because I feel like they get so much screen time between phones and Chromebooks. So I love to see them. And, my background's in early childhood. So I like to approach things with more hands-on activities and focus on those type of things. There's this wonderful woman, she's passed away, named Bev Boss. And she was an early childhood educator. And she always said that the one thing she wanted to do is have her students leave the building with a great memory.
Oh,
That's our job is to help
Yeah.
create memories.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it goes along with the adage of people remember how you make them feel, not what you said to them.
Yes.
So for sure, you make the kids feel good. And as we will witness very soon when you hear what we have done.
Already recorded.
Already recorded.
Pre-recording.
Yeah. So my main question, I think about this because the library for me growing up was very traditional, but the place I'd like to go to find a new book. I mean, we didn't have the internet back then.
I hear ya.
And so my mom would take us to the library and pick out our chapter books, and she'd read them to us, and that grew my love of reading. And my school librarian was okay, pretty typical Catholic school librarian, I would say, but I would always find something that I wanted to read, and I love to read, still do. But the library space has changed over the last 10, 20 years. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you see as your purpose?
So I say this is not your grandmother's library.
Very true.
Perfect.
Okay. Librarians are not shushers anymore. I mean, I want the library to be a loud and vibrant place. when I started library school probably 15 years ago, I'm like, I love books. I think I'll be a librarian. And then I started library school, and I was like, wait a second. There's a lot more involved to this. Like, there's this whole part of technology that I didn't even know existed. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So now it's not always about books. Right now, it's about helping students evaluate information, right? And making sure that they can do that as we see what's happening in our world right now. So that's part of it. The other part is making the library a place where students want to be and love to be and welcoming. That's huge. I just did a whole workshop at the state conference on that last year. All the different things we do, from having students involved in everyday library work to, which I really needed them when I first started because I had no TA or any support in here. So I needed them to help me. But it's just grown into like 70, 80 students apply every year to be on iStaff. And then what else have we done? There's so many things that I have done.
You've done robotics, right?
Mm-hmm. I did dabble in Lego.
Mindstorms.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the children know much more than I do when it comes to that.
That's okay.
It is not my comfort zone, but we have done it. I've done Maker Club and collaborated with the public library, which was really fun, exciting. But I feel like that a lot of places are doing Maker, that really wasn't where I needed to be. I've done all different clubs. We've done Mindfulness Club during COVID. We've done Video Production Club. I did that for about 9 years with the students. And we do Battle of the Books. Battle of Books is just, that's my wheelhouse. We started 5 years ago, and we had 25 students the first year, and this year we almost had 100 students participate.
That's crazy.
What the best part is that I actually get staff volunteers to coach. So we had like 21 staff members volunteer to coach for Battle of the Books. Which
That's a lot.
I don't get that.
That's almost half the staff.
I know.
Here.
My other librarian friends don't get that. They end up having to do all the coaching themselves.
You just gave me goosebumps.
I know.
Because this is such a special place.
It is. It's amazing. So everyone's like, how do you get them to do that? I go, I just ask. I do kind of bully a few of them into it. Let's be honest. Like, you were such a good coach last year. You're going to do it again, right? And Jen Bassane was like, yeah, I'll do it again. Good, because your name's on the list.
Because I already signed you up.
It's about making the library, like, I bought a lot of artwork from Marshalls and things like that because I want the library to reflect like a home, as much of a home as it can be. My goal would be to have a gas lit fireplace in here.
Or an electric one.
Casey Bardoon asked me, what do you want? I go, I want a fireplace. He's like, sure.
Yep.
I would love to have booth seating over here. I think it would be really conducive to
would
that
be cool.
area.
That'd be nice.
Thinking about ways kids can connect and sit. Though they love to like sit 10 at a table. And they love to just be all together.
Yeah.
So
It's just a place where kids can come to be kids.
yeah,
Like the good old days.
I know.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
Well, I was going to ask you like what your shtick was, but you said Battle of the Books.
I do love Battle of the Books. I think it's great.
I do have a question. Inquiring minds want to know. How the heck do you keep so relevant and keep your collection so relevant? Because as you'll hear a little bit later in the podcast, we actually talked to some students, and that's one of the things they love most about coming here is that there's always something new.
Right. It's hard. Of course, I read School Library Journal, but I keep track. I haven't been on Twitter much since the whole Elon Musk thing, but to keep active in social media and all those, follow other librarians, follow a lot of authors, so you know what's coming, what's new, what's popular, knowing what the kids like, right? And making sure we have it. I have a sign that says, if we don't have the book you want, let us know.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll be like, you don't have the next book in this series. I'm like, But I realized Mackin has a really great resource now, and that's where I purchase my books.
Nice.
And it'll be what upcoming series. And I'll be like, let me go take a look.
Yeah.
So I've been better at that. But it's hard. It is really hard.
I imagine. And you're constantly, it's not just hard to keep up on what's new, but like the inventory refresh. is a lot of work, a lot of
Right.
hours.
Right. Katie and I were just working on that today, going through. I'm like, we got to get rid of all those books because they're not going out. What books aren't going out? What books haven't been checked out in 5 years?
It's a lot of report running.
It's sad because it was always easy to weed the previous librarian's books, but it's
Yeah.
really hard to weed the books I purchased that
yeah.
might not have been.
I can imagine.
And right now we're at this cusp where students aren't checking out as many physical books. So in the past, we would be checking out 10,000 physical books a year. In the last few years, it's going down. Last year was 7. This year we're hovering around 6 maybe. So, but our SORA stats are up over 10,000.
Wow. And that's more than some of the local high schools.
Yes, our stats are usually the highest in the district, or in the BOCES.
In the region, yeah.
Yeah.
The middle school, 500 kids-ish, checks out more SORA books, let me just put this out there, than all of the high schools in our BOCES region.
Yes.
Right.
And some high schools have 5,000, 7,000
Right.
kids. Come on.
There's a couple things. So when I came here, our previous principal always had this in place that the students have to read the first 20 minutes of study hall. And that's a game changer. So they have to read, or now they do their iReady. So that helps. And they really use SORA, I think, a lot more than
Yeah.
they used to come get a book, and they don't do that as often.
But is reading to you? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me. Listening to books doesn't matter to me. I've really had to fight hard about graphic novels being actual books. A lot of people think, compare them to reading's reading, whether it's a comic book or a
right.
graphic novel. And honestly, graphic novels are really hard to read. I don't love to read them. It engages both sides of your brain, and you really have to think about the images and the words. That's too much work for me. I
Yeah.
just want to imagine the images in my own head, right?
And get lost, yeah.
But the kids we're talking about, graphic novels, we're thinking that this population of students is much more visual, and that graphic novels is really fitting that need. So our graphic novels, we're running out of space. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that you're so open to anything and everything. It's all about the students. It's not about you and what you think.
Right.
It's about what the kids want and need.
Right. And
It's
honestly,
pretty special.
I've been using, AI to help with Reader's Advisory now because we have it. This student loves this series or this book. What should they read next?
That's smart.
Sometimes I'm like, no.
Yeah,
They are so
yeah.
off the mark.
That's where the human component comes in, right?
Yeah, it's still not perfect, but it does help.
That's
does help.
awesome.
It's a great use to use it as like a thought partner and not just a do my work for me kind of a situation. Like
I
it's a
had to
great
do
thought
it
partner.
the other night. I was working at Onondaga Free Library, and this woman, older woman, I'm old. She was much older than me. Came in with this folded sheet of paper with all of V.C. Andrews' books. Remember V.C. Andrews wrote Flowers in the Attic?
Yeah.
Like I read that when I was a teenager, so that was like 55 years ago, 50 years ago. And she wants all these VC. I'm like, no, we don't have that one. I can't find it. And she's what about this one? I'm like, no, it's not in the system. And I can't even get it like through a interlibrary loan, the big interlibrary loans. I go, how about this? What if I can find another book like V.C. Andrews for you? Right? She's like, that would be great. So I can't get on Gemini there. I got ChatGPT. What other authors are like V.C. Andrews in this particular book? And then I'm like, let me write some. Can I put these on the back of your paper for next time? And I went and found a couple books for her. I'm like, V.C. Andrews has been dead for like 20 years or so. So it was hard, but if I hadn't an AI, I couldn't have done that.
Right. Yep, absolutely. And one of the things that our listeners may or may not know is that Penny is super tech savvy.
Yes.
And she's like the one or two people that I go to in the building saying like, the teachers are going to be trained on how to use this, and Penny like picks it up and runs with it and helps support teachers in the building. Like, do you think that's part of the role of a library media specialist, or do you just like to do that?
No, it's part of our role. It has to be part of our role. I do like to do it because, and I never had it as a student, as a college student. I don't think I had my first computer 30 years ago, maybe 25. And I just am amazed by, I always said this, and I said that when I interviewed here with Casey, is that with human mind and technology, the opportunities are endless because one is totally ineffective without the other, right?
Yeah, it's a great quote.
So thank you. It's mine.
Oh, it's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, I might.
I told Casey that when I interviewed here. He's like, "Tell me about technology," and
my
I was
God.
like, "That's it."
I might have to add that to my signature on my email. Penny Feeney. Instead of
awesome. Don't get me
Dewey.
started because my dad has like a sensor in his heart or in one of his his arteries, and he sits on a pillow every day, and it connects to his hospital in DC or New York City, and they take care of his meds. And when they were putting that in, I'm sitting there going, the opportunities are endless. The human mind, technology, the opportunities are endless. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. Like, so
I feel like I've been talking a lot.
that's okay. It happens.
But Penny and I have known each other for 6 years. We work closely together.
Right.
We're friends.
And then I found out she used to work in my home district. Unfortunately, my daughter never had her. But I remember I was on the school board, and I remember Katie presenting her portfolio and
Oh my
being so
God.
impressed with her.
so cringy.
It's so weird.
I know.
It's, as we
Remember
know,
when we had to do that with portfolios?
when as the world gets smaller as we get older,
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
there's so many
absolutely.
interconnections.
100%.
So, yeah.
I was walking out of Wegmans, and my sister calls me the mayor of the Fairmount Wegmans. I was walking out of Wegmans, and a guy was walking in, and I swear it was the guy that managed me when I had a paper route when I was 14. I swear it was him because he used to work Rock and Bowl at what was it? It's not AMF. It's AMF now. Strike and Spare. And he manages local paper routes, which, are kind of almost dead. But, like, what the?
Oh, that's my favorite thing is when I run into my students. Like, I was at Wegmans one day, and I purposely got in this line because I knew it was one of my students. She's like, Miss Feeney, remember me? Graphic novels.
That's so cute. I saw a kid, she's a woman, on her second baby at a restaurant.
Oh, my gosh.
Recently, like a couple months ago, and she came up and hugged me, and she's like, Miss Regan. I'm like, what is happening? Why am I so old? It wasn't that long ago that you were in 10th grade.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the best thing.
crazy.
That's one of the best things, too, is everyone's like, I was a preschool teacher for so many years. And I'm like, you're going to middle school? I'm like, well, I'm going to
middle
try
school's the
it.
best.
And I'm like, I love middle school, but I've worked with college-age students. I've worked with infants, and they all need the same thing.
Yes.
They
That's
all
so
need
true.
for us to care about them, to
all
have
about
relationships
relationships.
with them,
Yep.
and make sure they know that they're important.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I taught 7th grade English at JE, Jordan Elbridge, and then I got laid off, and Sue Osier retired in October. So then I got called back like that October, and I had all the same kids again.
Oh.
And I would say like they're exactly the same. They're just bigger bodies,
Yep.
and maybe a little bit funnier.
Yeah.
In some ways because they could take a joke or they understood the sarcasm. But man, I loved that so much. Is seeing that. Like change but not change. Like same kids, same personalities, needed the same kind of love. It was awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So cool.
I had the ability when I was in the classroom, so I taught kindergarten through 6th grade, and so I got to watch them grow from kindergarten to 6th grade. So it's so crazy to be like, oh, you actually understand sarcasm now. Let's go. Like you can do so much, and I've watched the growth. And now my first set of kindergartners are seniors this year, so I'm getting all of their like invitations for the graduations, and so I'm like, I'm not that old. Like that shouldn't be happening,
welcome
but
to this
apparently I
world.
am. So
I had a student come in today and go, oh, I remember you were in 5th grade and you were so sweet. And
you're
she's
not.
like, I'm still sweet. I go, who tells you that? Your mother?
Grandma, probably. Oh, man. Well, this has been a blast, as
thank
usual.
you.
Yeah, sure.
Penny's one of my favorite people.
Oh, thank
so
you.
We're excited to have her on the May. What day is today? 20th?
20th.
Yes,
yeah,
today is
May
the
20th podcast.
Yes,
Yay,
thank you.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much. Are we good?
We're good. I think
All
we're
right.
good.
I'm signing off.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Well, hello, ladies.
Hi.
We have some students from the middle school here today to talk to us. about
Super exciting.
About Miss Feeney's space, and we had just talked to Miss Feeney. Well, we're faking it because we're recording the girls first, but so we're not going to ask you your names because we want to make sure we're keeping your privacy safe and all that. But what grade are you in? Seventh grade, all three of you?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about why you love to spend every single morning in this library?
Well, I always come here first in the morning because, like, outside it's like everybody's grouped in their like little groups and it's very like chaotic. But when you're in the library, it's like very calming and like still and like very nice almost.
It's a good way to start because then you can be like relaxed for the day and like have fun like seeing your friends.
Yeah.
I feel like coming in the library in the morning is like fun because you get to see your friends, but not only like you get to see Miss Feeney and other people, but like outside of the library is a little chaotic.
Yeah, awesome.
It's typically a tough way to start the day, huh?
Yeah.
Like all the noise
Especially
and
in the
chaos.
middle school.
Yeah.
Middle schools be cray-cray.
Yeah, they are. They very much are. And two of you guys are part of the I staff, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's basically like we get to be the librarian, like we get to check out books for other people and return books and like help out Miss Feeney.
Yeah, you get to do like different jobs. Like you can help like organize books or like clean like shelves and like you basically get to be like helper librarians.
Oh, cool. All the power.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Does sound like a lot of fun.
What's your favorite thing about the library or about Miss Feeney?
Miss Feeney's pain tolerance with me.
You cause her a lot of strife,
Yeah, I kind of do.
a lot of pain,
That's
a lot of emotional pain.
Yeah, it's an understatement.
I just love the books in general.
Yeah.
There's like a really
love
good
it.
selection.
Yeah, I love how many books we have and like
I
all
always
the different types.
I always find Olivia hiding in a corner in the morning and like reading a book. I have
She,
to
like-
search through the library for her.
She what she does is she puts in like so many book orders, and then at the end of the year she like takes all the books that nobody's really read and she puts them in this big like plastic kiddie pool, and you get to like take the books for free.
And
So,
you're like swimming in it.
it like keeps the books going and like yeah.
That's cool. So you always find something that's like relevant and up to date and is not like old and dusty.
Yeah.
There's always new books.
That's awesome. What's your favorite genre?
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Me too.
Love it. We love fantasy.
That's awesome. What's your favorite book?
Harry Potter.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Probably Percy Jackson.
Yeah, I think Percy
Oh,
Jackson
that's a good
too.
one.
Harry Potter's really close.
Yeah.
Those are
that one's
definitely
a
my two
close
tops.
second.
Yep,
I
two
also
of my
really
tops.
like The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
That's not really fantasy.
That's
It's
dystopian.
There's some,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
some weird stuff.
Yes.
Th-
Have
There's
you read
no
the recent
magic,
one?
true.
Yeah, it's really
So
good.
good.
That's so
I won't say
cool.
anything. It was I like just ate it
I
up.
read
Like
it
it
like
was just
I
insane.
read the whole thing in a day.
Oh
I was
my
so
God.
like invested in it.
How many books do you think you read a year?
Oh, like
A lot.
Yeah.
Count.
Did you know that the middle school beats out book rentals? What do you call them? Checkouts?
well,
You beat like most other high schools in the area.
Really?
Like West Jenny High School. I know you beat them.
Christian.
That's incredible.
yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because we have such a like great library.
Yeah.
We have like lots of sometimes like you have like classes in here and you get like a few minutes to check out a book. And there's like a lot of great books, like anything you want. There's like books about video games or books about Taylor Swift or books about Harry Potter and fantasy. It's like a really good selection.
I feel like Miss Feeney also promotes the books more and
Yeah.
like finds books that you like. Because like in 7th grade you don't really get to like come in the library that much, but she still like promotes like certain like book trailers and stuff.
How many of these books do you think Miss Feeney has read?
I would say a lot
Quite a
of
few.
them. She always says like you can always ask her and she'll have like a recommendation about a book for you like based on what you like to read, and then she'll give you like the gist of the book to see if you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
Yeah.
I love coming here to visit.
It's always a very calming space.
Yeah.
And I love talking about books with Miss Feeney. That's so cool. Do you talk about books with each other?
Oh, all the time.
100%.
We have a whole
Yeah.
group. We have a group chat where we just talk about books.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And
I'm
Olivia
so
was just trying
jealous.
to spoil a book to us.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was a really good spoiler.
No, you were in the whole series.
Which book is this?
Keeper
of the Lost Cities.
Don't tell me anymore.
I
think I've read that
spoiled
one.
who Sophie's mother was.
And that's
Honestly,
like-
it's not that big of a
No,
spoiler.
it is because
It's
she's trying to
not.
figure it out the whole entire series, and
Not
that's in
really.
like the last book when she finds out, and I'm only on the third one.
Oh, no.
No.
That's like when you were reading Fourth Wing, and I was like, when you get to the last page,
You need
you
to
better
text
call
me.
me. Awesome.
Do you
go ahead.
guys read like mostly physical books, or do you find yourselves like reading like virtual books, like on your Kindle or any apps like that? Or
If I do not have like a paper book in front of me and I like don't have any of them, then I'll like go on my phone and like go on Libby and things. But other than that, I mostly like paper books.
I have a Kindle, which I use a lot, but I prefer physical books. But I do kind of a mix of all of them. I'm listening to an audiobook right now, but I mostly read physical books.
And we do audiobooks on car trips.
Yeah.
Car trips, I love audiobooks.
So listen to this invention that I thought of. Well, I had help thinking of it, but I read a lot on my Kindle. I like physical books too, and I've been listening to audiobooks lately. So what if you could buy a Kindle book or a physical book, and it came with the audio version, so that when you're reading the physical book, you could tell the audio version which page you left off on, and you could pick it up when you get in the car or when you're walking, and then when you're done reading that page in the audio book, then either on your Kindle, it will automatically go to that page, or it could tell you what page to pick back up on in the physical book.
I need that.
That's
Right?
that would be excellent.
I like to, so I'll be reading a physical book, but I go on runs a lot because I do track, but I'll want to listen to the audiobook while I run. So then I have to find my page in like Sora or Libby, but then when I'm finished with that, I have to figure out what page I left off on the audiobook to find it in the physical book again.
Yeah, so you need that in
Yeah.
your life. Me too. It'd be awesome.
Absolutely, that would be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think technology has changed, like the library, or like how you read, or just in general, like reading and all of that?
Well, the books, they're much more fun because from what I've seen in movies and like books and from my mother, who's like, okay, I'm not gonna say her age because like she doesn't like that. She gets really angry.
Probably younger than I am. Okay.
And they used to like pull out these dusty textbooks to like do research on their science fair project. But now it's like you go to the library and you get like cool fantasy books with like really cool covers and yeah.
Yeah.
What role did technology play in that, do you think?
I mean, the computers came along and they had all these websites and people like that more than carrying all those textbooks around.
True.
It was a very heavy situation.
It was heavy.
It was very heavy.
Lots of hurting backs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although your backpacks look pretty big.
They're pretty heavy too.
Mine
we
weighs
have a
like
lot
40
of,
pounds.
Yeah,
Right
I weigh
there.
mine
Oh
and
my
mine weighs
God.
30 pounds.
Let's replace all of that with like one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I just like don't empty my folders.
My folders are like 3 inches wide.
Yeah.
But that's probably my problem.
We're not even gonna get started on my social studies binder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're
Oh,
supposed
boy.
to empty that out.
I can't remember my locker combination.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know how to open my locker.
What do you guys want to be when you grow up?
Lawyer or president of the United States.
I could see that.
All right, yeah.
I have known you for 5 minutes. I can see that.
I think I want to be a music teacher or a lawyer.
Where
'cause
did
I
the
also-
music teacher come from?
I love band.
I think I'm gonna be something in the medical field.
Yeah?
Cool.
Yeah, I can definitely
What
see
interests you about that?
I don't really know. Like, my mom's a nurse, my grandma's a nurse, her mom was a nurse, and it's kind of like a whole like lineup. So like,
that. And you're really smart, so like you'd be good at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like how your friend just supported you being very smart as
She,
a
like-
young woman.
We were dissecting a frog, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
like danced around with it and held it up while it was cut open.
hold it up so
So
I made it jiggle. Let's go.
I don't
I
see
kept poking at it.
any problem with her becoming a nurse.
See, there was me when we were doing frog dissections. I stood as far away from the frog as like
it's
I was
smelly.
supposed to
Yeah,
be
it is
coming
very
in, and I
smelly.
felt like I was about to pass out. I felt so bad for the frog.
Oh my.
Yeah, she's an animal lover. So like if she sees
am I.
like a dead animal, she just starts sobbing.
Yeah, I hear ya. My daughter is 20, but she stepped on a snail one day at Onondaga Lake Park and just lost it. She's like, I ruined its home. It's gonna die. It was really sad, but I feel
can see
ya.
Olivia
That's
just like
definitely Olivia.
breaking down though, just like lying on the floor saying, I ruined its life. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's friends and family. It has no home to come back to.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to share?
I don't know.
I mean,
No.
I love the Battle of the Books program.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Tell me about that.
It's like this competition where you get a number of books and you get a team from 2 to 4 people and you read the books and then you go into this competition and you answer questions about the books. And they're not like questions like what was the main character's name and you'd tell the main character's name. It's like in which book does somebody have an ace of spades in their front shirt pocket?
Oh, I remember that
And then
question.
yup.
And
And then yup.
James Patterson.
And then you'd list the book and you'd list the author's name, and if you didn't get, and like in the higher competitions like the regional battles, you need to say their name like extremely correct. Like you can't like
Even if it's hard to
Name
pronounce.
by Kazu
Yeah.
Kibuishi.
Oh
So
my
there's like
goodness.
there's different rules. There's a writer who has to write down the author and the book title, and then there's a speaker who has to say the name of the book and the author, but it has to be completely pronounced right for you to get full points.
and then like
That's intense.
sometimes when we challenge the question, like I do the challenge where you like give the reasoning and like why it's this.
That's why you want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for challenges, if like they say you got it wrong, but you know where it was, you have 2 minutes in the book to find where it is, and then you have to give them reasoning why it makes sense. And then sometimes you get the points, sometimes you won't.
Yeah. How many times has that happened to you?
We've gotten
2
a bunch
out
of
of
them.
We've done a bunch
We've
of them.
gotten
We only
2 out of
lost
3.
one.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Well, the third one was really stupid.
was stupid.
In my
It wa-
opinion.
it
I
was
thought
the
we
last-
shouldn't do it, and I didn't
It was the last
participate.
question. We had 3 challenges left. It was the last question regionals. And so we just figured
And they
that
were
we
like,
could
what
just
the
do
heck?
it.
And I'm like, no, not what the heck. There's no point to this because it's wrong.
Well, I mean, there was a chance we could have gotten the points.
There was zero.
There's a slim chance.
Did you win?
In
This year we
6th
got-
grade, we won a regional battle and got 3rd in super regional.
This year we got 3rd in regionals.
Wow. It's stiff competition because you ladies seem to be on top of your game.
We read
All of the
books
games.
multiple times.
Yeah. How many books did you have to read?
8.
8, and you've read them multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you studied.
Yeah.
Why do you like that so much?
I
I
don't know.
It's like it's so fun. Like it's like satisfying when you like get the question right, or when you're like the only team who gets it right, and like it's so exciting when you win.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for
It was
having
so
us.
fun to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys again.
Yes.
So much fun. All right.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
you.